Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5:30 p.m. I call this meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the invocation and pledges of allegiance. Tonight will be led in the invocation by Councilmember Ward 3, Randy Sonnier.
Would you join me in prayer, please? Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to be here today, Lord. Lord, we look back earlier this month as we talk about our veterans in Pearl Harbor Day, Lord, and just a few of those remaining survivors from Pearl Harbor Day. We just thank them for their service. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to serve you in this great community, Lord. And we just ask all these things in your great name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flags of our country and of our state. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. If someone could bring me up the citizen comment list, that would be great. Citizen comments. At this time, the members of the audience may comment on any city-related subject not on the agenda. Thank you, sir. Anyone wishing to speak shall sign in before the meeting with their name and address. Comments are limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise allowed by City Council. The Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from discussing items not listed on the agenda. In other words, it's a one-way conversation from you to us. A member of the audience that desires to speak during City Council's consideration of any specific agenda items is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. First up, Kay DeQueer. Ms. DeQueer, you have the floor for 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes.
Situation. So you're going to have many of these things mentioned in the presentation. First,
Hey, Mayor, I'm sorry. Give me just a Mayor. She's on the agenda.
You're on the agenda, Kay. You're not in citizen comments. You don't have to sign in. No, well, you're on 5B. Well, you said you have here for public comments, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk
I want to
with
talk
you
back to
about these projects. We can't do that under comments.
Yeah, go sit back now. Yeah.
Okay, can we hit the AC?
That's a legitimate ask. If someone could, if someone knows where the thermostat is and how to operate that thing.
Look at Joni. She's the hero. Thank you.
Okay. Now we have Rod Carroll, Chief of Police. I don't think you will. You're a little better armed than she is.
That kidnapping 631 with suspect Bradley Clark. Unfortunately, very distraught. One of the things she did not know was the license plate of her vehicle. So we went from 631 to 651. Our units were on scene within 3 minutes. At 651, a family member was able to give us the license plate of the vehicle.
Can you spin for 1 second? They're saying they cannot hear in the lobby.
Yeah.
The basic license plate was determined in 851. Immediately, as y'all can imagine, the aggravated kidnapping involved with a child. Okay, every agency out there, is on it. Port Arthur Sheriff's Office, CPS, they're all monitoring our channel and find out the latest CPS. All we had was that it was a black Dodge SUV at the initial part. Now we got the license plate. 851 upon being announced over the radio, a Port Arthur officer was already on the clock system. Okay, it's better. Okay. He found that it had hit a clock reader at 6:37 p.m. on Island Street in Beaumont. That means we had a 6 minutes delay from us not knowing where the car was. And it never hit another clock, so we knew it was in the area. Beaumont, as per protocol, at 6:51 initiated all their units to saturate that area, began looking. At 6:55, we had a couple call in, finding a 3-year-old child on their front porch. Immediately we were hoping, we didn't have the details. At 7:07, our unit got on scene and verified that was our child. At 7:25, Beaumont located the unoccupied vehicle in an apartment complex on Sack Street. By 7:46, little over an hour and 10 minutes, we had the suspect in custody, the car recovered, and the child recovered. That was my coworkers, and not just my coworkers, but that was law enforcement in Jefferson County that took that role. But that's why I kind of give y'all an overview. We're waiting for our flock cameras to be installed. We have 6 of them that are coming, but as you can imagine, this is the newest technology, and the backlog on installations is tremendous. We have 11 more that were under grant, for a grant from the state, put all around our schools. So, you know, we are definitely biting into the program. The other part is the Real-Time Crime Center. That's Flock. They integrate with QSIS, which is the program behind the Real-Time Crime Center, and we're hoping to get that part up and running in first quarter of 2026. We'll have businesses that can have these little, I call them vampire boxes, because they will upload to the internet, so that it's it's in the cloud, so that we can go out and grab it. We maintain it for 30 days, and then it disappears. Anything that goes out there, so there's nothing that stays out here. Same thing with the flock cameras. That information is maintained for 30 days and 30 days only. I can tell you right now, I can't go into the details, but the murder that was in Beaumont that happened, when they recovered the body, and they had the suspect in custody within 3 hours, which is, they had her identified by a remote fingerprint reader, and they were able to find her vehicle on the flock, located it, and then they got a search warrant for the house, located the boyfriend. We don't have enough police officers in 2025. We're not going to have. People are not going into law enforcement, and that's the reality. We have people leaving our profession quicker than we can get them hired in, and quicker than we can train. We're going to need to depend on technology to get this done. I think it's a perfect example, 2 cases where it all came together. Thank God for that child. I will say it's Christmas Eve. Sorry, Pastor, but there was a saint watching over that child and getting some glory. Thank God. So thank y'all.
Amen. Item number 4, consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be, oh wait, let me back up real quick. Citizen comments. We only had Rod. That was it. Yeah, I want to add something though, under citizen comments, and I'll time myself. We had the visit of the delegation from the Netherlands on November 18th. That's been since the last council meeting. They were greatly delayed. They thought they could travel from Donaldsonville, Louisiana to here in 3.5 hours. I-10 fooled them, and like it fools many Americans. They finally got here instead of at 12 o'clock, but at 1:30. The meeting was sadly abbreviated. They ate, they enjoyed the food. It was a good meeting. And like I described on that day, it's only the beginning. We had the deputy or the vice mayor from Rotterdam, the one that's in charge of their port. The port of Rotterdam is the largest port in Europe. We have a very large port complex here. They have oil refineries. We have oil refineries. They have petrochemical plants. We have petrochemical plants. There was a lot of discussion among the 5 of their delegation with several community representatives here in Nederland. And as I said, it's only the beginning. It's not the end. It wasn't a one-off. So I hope that at some point we'll be able to repay a visit to them in their country down the road sometime. Does any other member of council that was there would like to add anything? Okay, thank y'all very much. And they paid the lunch bill, so there was no cost to the citizens of Nederland. All right, now consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. A, minutes, November 17th, 2025, regular meeting. Mr. Mills, you got anything on this? Any comments?
No, sure. Thanks.
Okay. So it's up for a motion and second.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Duplant, second by Sonier. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. 5, regular agenda, new business. Proclamation for interim city manager Cheryl Dowden. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Proclamation, whereas the city of Nederland entrusted Cheryl Dowden with the responsibilities and high duties of interim city manager, guiding the city through a period of transition with steadiness and professionalism and integrity. And whereas during her tenure, Ms. Dowden provided strong leadership, clear direction, and a commitment to transparency that strengthened public trust and supported the continuity of city operations. And whereas Ms. Dowden worked collaboratively with the mayor, yes, you sure did, city council, city staff, community partners, and residents to ensure that essential services remained uninterrupted and that the city of Nederland continued to move forward. And whereas Ms. Dowden demonstrated exceptional skill in managing complex issues, fostering a positive workplace culture, and upholding the highest standards of public service. And whereas the city of Nederland recognizes and deeply appreciated Ms. Dowden's dedication, leadership, and contributions that have left a lasting positive impact on the community and city organization. And therefore, I, Jeffrey P. Darby, Mayor of the City of Nederland, on behalf of the City Council and the residents of our community, do hereby express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to Cheryl Dowden for her outstanding service as interim city manager. The city extends its best wishes to Cheryl Dowden in all her future endeavors, and hereby commends her for her exemplary commitment to public service. In testimony whereof, witness my hand and seal of the City of Nederland, this the 8th day of December 2025, signed by me and attested by Joni Underwood, City Clerk. It's now time for rebuttal.
Thank you for that. That is just very shocking. I don't know what to say. I'm just totally shocked. It was a very tough few 6-7 months, but very enjoyable, and one that if I had to do it over again, I would. This is the greatest city in Texas. I believe that is, and definitely in Southeast Texas. And I love the citizens. I love the council and all the employees. Y'all are a big family to me. And so I'm going to miss y'all. But I get to watch you on YouTube because I am staying very, very busy right now. I'm playing catch up. So thank y'all.
If anybody would like to take pictures.
Mayor, if I could, I'd like to add
Oh,
to,
Mr. Mills.
I just want to add to your comments. I wrote the proclamation because I couldn't, every one of those words, what I wrote, you did it well. No, just say I got to work with Cheryl for 27 days. I think I came on the 3rd. Seemed like forever, didn't it, Cheryl? But it was such a pleasure to have the benefit of this council, mayor and council, first of all, having Cheryl here for that 6 months. But from a transition standpoint, it was huge benefit for me. I walked in, she had a box about this big, and every day she would take something out and hand it, which I would have still been trying to figure out what's in that box. And Cheryl had it well in hand and transitioned it. And anyway, thank you very much for that. And Cheryl, I'll miss you. So thank you.
Okay.
Now, Kay, item B, 5B, receive update from Nederland Economic Development Corporation regarding current projects requested by Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz. Ms. DeQueer.
Thank you for the air conditioning too, I'm sure.
We aim to please.
Date, I will kind of talk quickly because we have a lot of things that have happened in the last 12 months. Very proud of the board at the Nederland EDC, and I want everybody to realize there's just two of us that do all of this on a day-to-day basis. So, but the first thing we did was we had our first Nederland Economic Development Forum, and that was March the 18th. We had 50 people attend. The second one is already scheduled tentatively for March the 17th. And it will be at the Fellowship Hall at the First Baptist Church. It's easy for me to get that because that's part of the church. The board has to approve that date first, but it looks like March 17th. The Nederland EDC and the city were recognized in the Southeast Texas Business Journal, which you have a copy at your seat. We were mentioned as the largest producer of sales tax for the quarter in August 2025. We brought in $715,149 compared to the same month in 2024. We grew by 33.67% year over year. Our closest neighboring community, which I will not mention by name, grew by 16.16%. So each year, and you'll have a spreadsheet at an Excel. I was hired in 2013, so I can't focus on anything prior to me. I can only focus on things that have happened since I've been there. But every year since 2013, which is how I gauge my performance, we've improved the overall growth in sales tax revenue and job creation in the city of Nederland. Business incentives. The Nederland EDC awarded $348,364.19 to local small businesses in Nederland in the 24-25 year. We just started our new fiscal year, October 1. Last week, I was able to go and meet with Mr. Kelly Hancock. He's the acting comptroller for the state of Texas, and Annie Dennis, who's the deputy director over business development from the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office. I thank them for sharing the data and making sure that Nederland was first and that we had the largest sales growth in the area. We were compared to all the sister cities around us, including Jefferson County, and that article is there just for you to read. We worked to bring in 19 brand new businesses to the city of Nederland in 24-25. We were awarded $20,000 for a grant for job creation from the North Texas Community Economic Development Center in Plano, Texas. We're just waiting to get the check. I keep saying, Cheryl, we did get the grant. We did get, not the Cheryl, but Cheryl Kaiser. And she's like, yeah, I just got to find time to get the check off my desk and get it to you. That's $20,000. So when we give out incentives, if a business is bringing in jobs, we can use some of that money to go towards that, which allows us to keep more in the kitty for additional businesses. We applied for a hot tax, which is hotel motel tax and tourism, for our concerts, market days, shop local, shop often, shop Nederland campaign that we run each year. We actually advertised in 26 zip codes. And if you ask our local businesses how Pink Friday, Black Friday, and Small Business Saturday were, I believe that advertising in 26 zip codes made a big difference. Right now, we're doing the 12 days of Christmas. We started reporting those this morning. 21 baskets to give away from local businesses. So we go out and we say, if we spend 50, will you match it with 50? Normally they match it with 100 plus. So we have that going on. A fun project was the fiberglass Dutch shoes that were distributed and sold around town. The 15 shoes that you see around our office, the city property outside in the front, it was all to promote tourism, just like we did the arch many years ago. A lot of controversy over the arch, a lot of controversy over the wooden shoes or the fiberglass shoes. But what you have to do is not listen to the negativity, keep moving forward, and people will see the end result. And it does bring in tourism for our community. That campaign started in November 24. We still have 5 that they're ready to be ordered. If you haven't been out to Off Boston and noticed our large shoes that are like the size of this podium times 2, it's a great place to take a Christmas photo. Maggie and I went out, we planted faux tulips in all of the shoes, but in January and February, we will plant real tulips. Everybody gets 2 dozen. The board approved last month to start doing seller financing for the buildings on Off Boston. It has a property owners association. So if you know anything about an HOA, a property owners association is basically the same as commercial. So we'll seller finance the buildings with for 15 years at a 6% interest rate. They'll have to put 10% down. But I can't sell it to you if you're gonna turn around and lease out the building. That's not the goal. The goal is to get a business in there and help that business grow and get on their feet. We participated in Cinco de Mayo, had an open house out there, and that was February of 25. And we had kind of like what Jeff said, we try to recruit sponsors as well. So First Financial, Homestead Mortgage, Butcher's Corner, Texas Regional Title, and Capital Title were our sponsors for that. We sold 1132 Atlanta Avenue, which were 2 buildings, October the 22nd, 2024. And that's in the off Boston development. We demoed 1311, which is the drive-through. Got that area clean, ready for future development. The board voted last month and the banner finally arrived today. It will actually go on the market for sale. We're going to put restrictions on it, that it will be for a retail shopping center or a restaurant. Because if we don't control what comes in, we got to keep the ambience of what's going on in Boston. So that's what we're looking for as a shopping center. If you know anybody, spread the word. 1111 Boston Avenue, the old Lee Michael. We're doing the replat on that right now, working with the gas company to locate the lines so that, and the sewer to locate the lines so the city can find the water lines. And hopefully that we can close out by the end of December. You're going to hear about the first time a high demand job training grant. We're working in collaboration with Workforce Commission of Southeast Texas. That's the next item. So I'm not going to go over that a whole lot. We hosted our 5th year of fall concerts, which is a quality of life event that people love. We actually sent out surveys and we're receiving information back about how did they find out about it. And we spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising, commercials, social media, things like that. This year, we had 4 concerts. In 2026, there will be 5. We've already reserved the stage. And this year was the first year it didn't cost us one single penny. We had 100% sponsorships to cover all that. And thank you very much for the $500 donation from the city of Nederland. That made a difference. This was our 10th annual fall market. It was October the 28th. We had a wonderful day. The next market's October 17th next year. Probably 125 vendors next year. October 22nd and 29th, we hosted our 2024 business celebration of our businesses that were from 10 to 25 years in business. We do it every other year. And if you go online and look at our strategic plan, you can kind of track what we're doing. So September 3rd to the 10th will be the one for 2026. And that will be years 5 to 9 for our businesses. Currently still working on upgrade strategic plans, a live document. So it's constantly moving. So we've completed almost everything for that year. We just added a new credit card policy. Someone said, do y'all have that? And I'm like, no, but I can do that. I think I did that in 2 hours. So the board will vote on that next week. It's something that if you don't have, it's something you should have. It'll be a part of our policy and procedure handbook. Just another mode of transparency, fiscal responsibility, that anyone asks questions, it's in the manual. The board, we created a new conflict of interest policy. That was in November 25. That was approved by the board. It's like, you know what you're supposed to do, but when you sign that document, it really holds you to it. So attended comptroller training, 7 workshops twice this year. Pink Friday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. We were out videoing. To all those that wanted to be videoed. Not everybody wants to be videoed when you just show up and say, hey, we're here to, toot your horn for you. But went on the ARC show October the 1st, advertising for all our fall events. I only have 1 copy of this, so I will pass it around, but this is the cost of living index. The actual volume is probably 85. So I'm sorry I didn't print that out, but I will email you a copy if you'd like it. And we do that for Hardin, Orange, Jefferson, and Jasper counties. This is the one that is nationwide. So we literally, how much is a hamburger? How much is a pair of jeans by this name brand? And they tell us what stores to shop at. So we're compared to everybody across the nation. So we do that 4 times a year, and the EDC gets paid $1,000 to do all that work. And we get reimbursed from the Southeast Texas Economic Development Foundation. And as the mayor said, we attended the July 25th Dutch delegation at City Hall, and hopefully have future meetings again. And then participated in all the chamber ribbon cuttings, chamber casino night, hosted the regional economic development meeting. I was chair for that for 7 years. So we're glad to hand that off to someone else. We sponsor and participate in everything the Heritage Festival does, the Chamber does. Back to school event, Small Business Development Symposium at Central Mall on September the 18th. Texas Economic Development Conference, October 28th through the 31st. We'll be presenting there next year. Monthly meetings for Ready, completed the 24th fiscal audit as required by law, completed comptroller sales tax forms online. Now it's audit time again. So in the 2025 fiscal audit. We've had many public information requests this year from the residents, which is fine, no big deal. But because it does take a lot of time, the board decided at our last meeting, unless it's paid up front, we won't be producing what we've been producing. And what we do is we go online to the Attorney General's website. He has a formula there. You put in what's requested. He tabulates, tells you what the formula is, types a letter that says, sorry, you're in front of me, Mayor Darby and Mrs. Darby, you have the requested blah, 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 blah. The cost will be. And so that's how we come up with our charges for that. You have a handout that was also in here about the 2026 Economic Forecast Luncheon. I encourage you to attend this. If you want a table, we can get you a table. Each year we have one, an economist come in and talk about what they project the future to be. And this will be Dean Foreman this year. He's over Texas Oil and Gas Association. So he'll be our speaker. And then one other handout I'd really like to focus on, and we don't toot our horns. We just kind of do our jobs, but you do have an Excel spreadsheet. I'd like to call to your attention. When we got the information from the Business Journal and the Comptroller's office, I immediately went to my financials. And then I was called Cheryl and I was like, can you pull these financials for me? I wanted to make sure that that number was correct. Now, sometimes y'all know, even in the city, we get overpayments and then we don't like to get that letter that says we have to repay, but we know we have to repay. So we're praying we don't get a letter that says we all overpaid. But if you can look at 2013, we had annual sales tax of $4,419,668. And we have grown to 2025, $412,217. We work our tails off to make this the best city to live and grow and raise a family in. And it's not an easy job. You have to be creative, think out of the box, take the hits when they come and roll with it. But if you can just look at that over the years, you can see what happened prior to us getting there. And you can see how we've grown. You can also see the years where we had storms, unfortunately, hurricanes and things like that. It's hard for us as humans, but for the economy and the stores, it's good. Like for Ritters and things like that, or if they have to purchase new furniture. So a lot going on. Any questions for me?
I will, since this is Mayor Pro Tem's agenda item, I'll go to him first and then elsewhere on the council.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Only question I have is, what is the 2026 outlook for next year in Nederland and our region?
I can't talk about any future projects that are yet to come, but it's very exciting, very scary, and very tiring already. And that's just very honest.
I'll just go down the line. Councilmember Sonier. Councilmember Jones.
Yeah, I have a question. So what is the current, and I don't know how y'all's financials are all set up. What's your current cash balance in the EDC's bank account, or do you have like a general fund?
Spot. So we
Okay.
have investment accounts. We have text pool and Lone Star, just like y'all do. So, and then we have reserves. So we have, like, you heard me tell you, we gave out 348, 364.19 in business incentives. We put 500,000 aside just for that. It's restricted for that every year. And then we have 160 additional that's restricted for just like beautification. And then so overall, we probably have 7 million,
Okay.
but we can't touch it. Some of it's reserved, some of it's assets, some of it's just sitting there for the rainy day. 750,000 is strictly for disaster recovery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd never heard that number before, so figured I'd ask, but you roughly around 7 million, you'd say?
Can ever want to come in and look at the financials, you can see how it's all broken down, what's reserved and things like that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Councilmember Duplan?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, and I'll close out from the council. Yeah, we, as she said, we, and I'm on the board now over there since October. Voted, to institute a, conflict of interest policy, which was needed. The city has had one for a number of years. And, the one at the EDC mirrors the city's, including in it is an anti-nepotism policy. So you cannot, any board member or staff cannot do business that would benefit anyone out to the third degree. That means basically your parents, children, grandparents, grandchildren, siblings, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces. Okay, it doesn't go out to first cousins like the federal government's does, but it's just to cover your closest relatives. That way there can be you would know who you cannot vote in favor of or debate at all. You have to abstain from it. Exactly, council member. So that, and then there's going to be one this month, she said, on a credit card policy. I'll be absent for that one, but these policies are needed, and I'm thanking you for putting them forward. Now, any member, Mr. Mills, you have anything for her?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, members of the audience, any questions for comments, Mr. Queer? Mr. Ortiz?
2811 Nashville here in Nederland. I just wanted to thank Ms. Kay and Maggie for their hard work. I know they have helped us at our business on Boston, and just want to publicly thank you guys for all that you do for our city.
Any other member of the audience? Okay, seeing no one else at the mic, moving toward the microphone. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
y'all very much. Appreciate it.
Items 5C, discussion and possible action to approve the Nederland Economic Development Corporation's $75,000 matching funds commitment to support Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas and Associated Building and Contractors of Southeast Texas in their application for the High Demand Job Training Grant. And before I continue in this, because I am a board member of the Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas, I abstain from any vote or discussion at the EDC. I'll abstain from any vote or discussion here, but I will continue to preside over this portion of the meeting. Mr. Mills, did you have anything on this?
No, I don't. Just what you said here. I can either read it or you can. Want me to read it?
Go ahead and read it to us. Sure, that's fine.
So on November 19th, 2025, Nederland Economic Development Corporation, NEDC, board approved 75,000 matching funds commitment to support Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas and Associated Builders and Contractors of Southeast Texas, ABC, SETX, in their application for high demand job training grant through the Texas Workforce Commission. If this grant is awarded, NEDC, Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas, and ABC, SETX will enter into a memorandum of understanding outlining their respective roles and responsibilities. Grant funding will be used to acquire new heavy equipment simulators and related training curriculum designed to expand workforce development and increase job opportunities for residents in the 77627 zip code. Workforce Solutions Texas or Southwest Texas and ABC CTEX will jointly prepare and submit the grant application. Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas will contribute 75,000 in matching funds to complement the NECD's 75,000 incentive. The heavy equipment simulators will be housed at the ABC CTEX location in Twin City Highway in Nederland. All financial commitments are contingent upon the successful award of the high demand job training grant, which is anticipated to be announced in 2026. In addition to expanded job training resources, the initiative provides several added benefits to the city of Nederland and Nederland ISD. Those are the city of Nederland will receive 4 years of free seat time for heavy equipment training at the ABC CTEX. The ABC CTEX will document and report participation in all training modules completed by individuals residing within the 77627 zip code. 3 individual scholarships will be added to the current 3 trade-based scholarships awarded annually to graduates of Nederland ISD. So this grant effort marks the first of its kind for the local area, and all partnering entities recognize the critical need for enhanced operator training to support continued growth in the regional in regional industries. And this, Mayor, this is the first of 2 readings.
Right, it requires 2 readings. The second reading will be at next week's council meeting.
Be voting today?
We will not be voting today. The voting will be at the second.
So Mayor, I'd like, Shandy, could you come in for a moment?
Yes, I was about to call for, but
She-
thank you for
she-
doing that.
She thought I didn't see her. So Shandy, CEO of ABC, so kind of give a rundown on what's going on and the numbers that are just exploding with all the work in the area. So I'll let you kind of recap that.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I thought I was hiding out, but
Oh, I saw you come in.
No, I saw
Yeah.
you too. I was going to call on you eventually.
Sorry, Jeff.
It's fine.
a great position right now to work with industry and to work with our citizens. So that way we can have, what we're looking for currently is the excavator and simulator. So, one thing that we had worked with Ms. Kay on and the team is to make sure that all the city employees can have that training readily available. So, anytime that you guys need it, or anytime that you guys need to do additional training for, any individual that you guys have on staff, that is going to be completely available for you guys. We're looking at, like I gave Lee my phone and it has all my data. Can I grab that back for?
It's your phone. I guess you could grab it.
So what we're looking at is, an annual student total of 16 individuals to be trained. And they would receive NCCER credentials. So that doesn't necessarily just state like, local credentials. That's actually across the board. So it's nationally accredited. So, they would be level 1 and level 2. All of it's tracked through an LMS system like you guys had read. And, that would allow any individual that has those credentials from a liability standpoint, you can kind of look at that. The simulator in itself is actually amazing. I was able to get on it, and you would not want to hire me for the city, but it was a unique experience for sure, because everything is just, it's so realistic. So I don't know, we're blessed at the opportunity to be here and for you guys to just kind of look at it and see if it would be something that you guys would be interested.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have someone from the TWC here. Mark, did you have anything to add?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'm the Deputy Director for Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas. We cover 3 counties.
What's your last name for the record?
Mark Duran. Okay.
Thank you.
We serve 3 counties, Jefferson, Orange, and Hardin. And just with the data that we're looking at, it's in Southeast Texas, we have 1,542 that are currently employed in this occupation. Based on the data we have active postings of 139. That's as of November. Annually, we're looking at about 129 with a salary range that the data shows is around 65. But we have Mr. Short here with Mason Construction that when we met is, if you're an experienced operator, you're going to make in the 80 plus in that area. But this is a demand that is through the Texas Workforce Commission. It is competitive. And so we do have to have leverage funds from the local EDC. That EDC has to be there either a type A or type AB. And then whatever funds we can match dollar per dollar. The funds will come from the Texas Workforce Commission. Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas would be the physical agent of those funds. Also, we would own the equipment that would be placed at ABC until it depreciates off of our books from that. Okay, we would turn in monthly reports both to Ms. Kay and also to the Texas Workforce Commission. So, questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so 3 additional scholarships will be added to the current 3 trade-based scholarships awarded annually to Nederland ISD. Do we know anything about the amount of those scholarships or any details on what those scholarships are exactly?
That would be Miss Shandy there.
Okay. I don't know who knows the answer, but I figure maybe somebody does.
That's level 2 certified. So typically we just started a new initiative to do 3 scholarships per ISD that's underneath our NCCER charter. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but everything that's at Nederland ISD that is underneath the NCCER charter is actually underneath the umbrella of ABC, Southeast Texas Training Center. So in order to incentivize individuals that are going into trades, because as everyone knows that we have a huge shortage in trades in our industry and that's actually across the country. We wanted to make sure to incentivize that by offering, training that is completely affordable. So what we did was we partnered with several of our industry partners and we asked them, hey guys, let's create a Sparks and Steel soiree. So the Sparks and Steel soiree raises scholarship funds to scholarship 3 seniors, graduating seniors that the CTE programs designate would be good individuals to pursue their trades and to advance their skill sets. So that can be welding, that can be pipe fitting, that can be scaffolding, any of the trades. So what we had worked with Ms. Kay on is, and that covers for a full year.
Okay.
So they can train for the full entire year. If they go 4 nights a week, they're going to be completed with their craft track, and it's going to be ultimately free because of the industry partnerships. So with that piece, this is going to add an additional 3 individuals to do the simulator training. So that way they'll have 3 additional scholarships for Nederland ISD to have excavator or dozer training, level 1 and level 2 certifications through NCCER, completely free to them.
Okay, so with the city of Nederland would receive 4 years of free seat time for heavy equipment training. What sort of heavy equipment could they get seat time on? Should we be awarded this grant?
Yes. Dozers initially. Each of these modules are about $30,000 to $50,000 more. So we're advocating to start out with excavator and dozer training first. So but I mean it's actually like several Caterpillar equipment. So it's going to be a readily used equipment that you guys probably have in the city throughout. And feel free to, if you want, I'm talking in his industry, like I know what I'm talking about.
Somebody's got the answer. I just got to find which one.
Sure. Mason Construction, I'm also on the board at ABC, but so the excavator and dozer options are the ones we looked at. That's probably the most common in industry. But for the city, I know there's a lot of different equipment you guys use quite a bit. Maintainers, great alls unfortunately aren't on this simulator list, but maintainer, front end loaders, backhoes, those are all systems that are offered. It's not where we wanted to try to start just because of the grand scheme of things. Most people are sourcing those 2 first. But I mean, if that's something you guys would be interested in down the road, I mean, it's definitely something that we can look at trying to upgrade at some point.
Different equipment and that sort of
I mean,
thing.
It's the
these
same
things are
equipment,
set-
it's just a different simulator program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The way they're set up, it's an active machine cab. So I mean, it's the same seat, same joystick controls that you would have when you sit in the machine. It's full screens, or you can do VR. I mean, it's a completely immersive. So it feels like you're on a job site.
Yeah.
Everything moves with you. So any input you put into that machine, you're gonna feel it. But I mean, you could certainly do any particular ones that you want to try to set your mind to.
Okay. Mr. Mills, is this, I don't know if you have somebody here from Public Works, could we, as in the city employees, is this something they would really be interested in even using, or I'm trying to,
I think the
realize we're
answer
not
is
voting
yes,
today,
just to
but I
talk
want
about
to
it. Sure.
hear a
No, it's
little
good.
bit before we.
Point.
What was their excavate with the backhoes and stuff like that?
Your name and, that's all right.
Taylor Shelton, I'm the assistant
Big
city
long title.
manager of Public Works and Special Projects. I think I got it right.
And Danny Davis.
Danny Davis, acting Public Works Director.
And the answer, we've discussed this, not to any depth, but y'all
Is yes.
said the answer was yes.
We'd use the excavator, so we could take advantage of that 4 years of free time and maybe get some people that don't have any training, trained up on that sort of thing. It'd be good. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this, there's something good for the school district, before we commit these funds later, I want to make sure there's something good in it for the city too, as far as the employees and.
What I've been exposed to tonight.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Glad to know y'all would use it. Thank you.
Any other member of council? Okay, anybody from workforce or ABC or EDC, they have anything else to add before I go to the citizen comments on this? Right. And that'll be done next week, for the second reading. It's all right. Okay, now members of the audience, members of the public. Seeing no one coming to the mic, Okay, the second reading will be next week, council meeting. Thank y'all for coming and discussing this from the various entities. Item 5D, discussion and possible action to approve payment to a Samaritan Counseling Center of Southeast Texas for the Nederland High School Wellness Screening Program. Mr. Mills.
Yes, Mayor, we brought this one back, at all request. So this was, read it at the December 9th, 2024 council meeting. Council authorized the dedication of 50,000 to the Nederland Independent School District for funding the Samaritan Counseling Center of Southeast Texas Mental Health Services. It was planned to be paid out of the ARPA funds, that were in place at the time. The funds were not obligated for that particular expense, and they would need to be paid from our general fund. They were committed, and I recommend approval.
Just for the audience's awareness, the council approved it on December 9th of last year, the 52 weeks ago tonight. But the ARPA money, the COVID relief money, all that money had to be obligated by December 31st of last year. And this was some of the money that the previous city manager did not, and I'm not talking about Ms. Dowden, the one before her, did not obligate properly by December 31st. So instead of being paid by COVID money, this has to be paid out of general funds. All right.
This is for services that have already been. rendered.
Services that have already been rendered.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
retrospective, not prospective. Let's see, any member of council have anything to add?
Yeah, I think that was the confusion. I spoke to some individual council members after the last meeting, whether this was for services that were not yet rendered or services that were already rendered. Now, since then, I've learned that these services were already rendered. The city made a previous commitment in December of last year. Therefore, we're going to make good on what the city agreed to do. We would pay this. I don't believe we're discussing any future funding tonight. Only fulfilling our obligations that were made. Understood. Okay. Well, that clears it all up.
Do we have a motion and second, and then I'll go
Make a
to
motion to pay.
I'll second.
a motion by Duplant, second by Sonier to pay the $50,000. Any other council member have any discussion on the item? Have any member of the audience? Hearing none. Okay.
Yep.
Actually, Robin McCutcheon with Samaritan, I'm the president CEO of Samaritan Counseling Center, and
Stephen Beagle, Nederland ISD.
Soon to be superintendent, right?
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I actually was listening in on the meeting that night, and I thought, gosh, if I could just hop in my car, I could probably solve a lot of discussion that you guys were having. And Dr. Beagle and I had some conversation the very next morning, and the fact that just with transition comes some uncertainties, especially with this large amount of funding that's being received by the city through them to Samaritan. And so just, I submitted some documents to you guys that I think will help kind of clarify that this isn't one student receiving a large sum of money. And this is just a small portion of funds that goes into providing mental health services for the school district. And it's currently a 9th grade through 12th grade program. However, with the leadership of Dr. Beagle, they have actually moved this program down into the middle school. And so we are now serving students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grades in Nederland ISD. And, we don't always like to talk about the other school districts, but they're one of the only school districts that are doing this in this program. We provide this within 5 districts within Southeast Texas, and Nederland's the only one that has taken it down to the middle school level. So huge services that are being provided through the school district. And the only way they're doing that is through the commitment of the community as well.
Dr. Beagle, you got anything to add?
Just want to add that this is another layer of support for our students. It's been a tremendous asset for our students. And you can't take the mental health of our students lightly, and something we take very, very seriously, and think it's a very worthwhile service.
I can't do it. All of us know teachers, counselors, administrators in the school system, and there's as Rod Carroll mentioned, people aren't going into teaching as they're not going into that type of service as well. So this is just another layer of services for the students and the families here, which I think is really exciting because it does trickle down to mom and dad and guardians because they are also involved in the process. So.
Any other member of the public?
Kevin Jones, 1011 Mimosa. I learned this morning of this program that's being funded by the city, and I certainly hope in the future that the school district will consider funding this program. Thank you.
Any other citizen? Okay, we have a motion and second, so let's vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Mayor, may I ask you a question real quick on
Yes,
this?
you may.
agenda item? Are the teachers eligible for this program as well? Just one thing we didn't cover, I don't believe.
With the funding from the school district and the city that's specifically allocated to students, in your chart, I've also kind of shown that we also then have realized that staff are a huge part of the process. And so I'm a grant writer on, as most of my job requires. And so we write grants to cover staff programs as well as the entire social service side of this program is grant funded through an entirely different population of grants. So the food insecurity programs, backpacks, we provide right now, we're providing blankets, socks, mittens, hats, gloves for your students. You may not realize it, but there are kiddos that are sleeping at the park. They're sleeping on benches and things like that. And so we're providing, we also this year for the first time bought sleeping bags. So that those students that are moving from family to family or they're couch hopping from friend to friend, we're providing them with sleeping bags so that they have something to take with them. And none of those funds are coming from the city or the school district. Those are outside organizations that are investing in this program as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And sorry for the
Appreciate
delay
it.
in the question.
No problem, no problem. Okay, now, 5E, receive an update from Schaumburg and Polk Incorporated regarding smoke testing requested by Councilmember Jones. Mr. Mills?
Thank you, Mayor. Gentleman's here now. We coincidentally, this was timely. We were just having some updates from our engineering firms on some ongoing projects, and Taylor and Danny and I met with these folks last week, and then Councilmember asked to have this update. So I got the update and we're going to get it again.
Absolutely. Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Thank you for having me. Last time I was here, I think was late October.
Name for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve Jordan with Schaumburg and Polk. Like was in October, I believe. And as I brought before, and this was kind of a summary of the smoke testing portion of it. And I know you can't really see this very well, but the smoke testing portion is done. And the field work is done. And so what we found was, we smoke tested 414,000 linear feet. We inspected 1,414 manholes. We found 2,455 defects within the system, 872 of which were municipal side, and 1,583 were on private service side. And of those, 804 were clean outs as we expected.
I'm going to stop you real quick. Is that a high number of defects for the amount of linear feet?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is. That's a lot, for sure.
Okay.
But you'll have still have a lot of clay tile pipe and that kind of thing. And that does happen.
Is the clay tile pipe concentrated in any particular part of the city, or is it pretty widespread?
No, sir. It's fairly widespread still. Yes, especially the smaller size.
Okay, thank you.
And just and this, I just wanted to kind of show how we collected in the field and what we'll at some point provide to the city is an update to the GIS system where we located the manholes and the lines and located the leaks too. I'll show you that in a minute. And so this is a better look at it. It's on the parcel view, but you can see what we'll do. And then this is what what we'll provide, you can click on a manhole and there on the left-hand side, it'll show, all the information about that manhole as well as pictures of it and what we found. Same thing on the leaks, the little blue dots are the leaks we found. And so what you'll see, you'll be able to click on the leaks and it'll tell you, what kind of leak it was and a picture of that leak. So that's some of the information that we'll be providing to the city for your records in addition to the final report that we'll provide. Now, as I said, we're done with the field work portion of it. We finished in late October. However, there are still some information we're gathering for the hydraulic analysis. We still have to pop a few manholes, double check some sizes and so on, kind of going through I'll call an audit process of all the data we gathered over the summer. So that's all that will lead into the hydraulic analysis. The flow monitoring, as you know, we delayed because we just didn't have any rain. Well, we're going to ramp that up. Hopefully we'll have monitors in the ground this month. That's what we're working towards. And we'll monitor for a period of 45 to 60 days on that. While that's going on, we'll be building that model of the system. And the system, what we'll be concentrating on are the 12-inch and larger lines that are highlighted. And what that'll do is tell us where the restrictions are, if there are any, where lines are under capacity, and what we can do to help those flows get to the wastewater plant and make sure we don't have backups and overflows and problems with citizens. So that's what we're working on right now, is building that model and getting that ready. So that's kind of an update on where we're at on all that. Any questions?
Councilmember Jones, your agenda item.
So you mentioned the flow monitoring and the hydraulic analysis. Have we done any of the flow monitoring and hydraulic analysis yet, or is that yet to be started?
We're building the model now. We haven't done any of the analysis yet. No, sir.
Okay. So
part of what we did this summer was gather the data to put into the model, basically.
yeah, I understand the smoke testing was a very large feat, the whole city, but I digress. Assuming the springtime, we get the rain like we normally do, give me a realistic, I'm not going to hold you to it, but give me a realistic timeline. We got people suffering in the community and I'm chomping at the bit to get going on this project to provide some relief. So can you shoot from the hip? Where are we at? When can we expect to have something?
Sure. And I'll back up to the schedule I have here. And, our original schedule was, I said we'd have the report done by the end of March. I have slipped that into the end of April now because of some of the delays that we've had. But that's realistically what we're looking for, is by the end of April, we'll have the report completed. Some of the hydraulic analysis we need to get finished for some of the projects that are ongoing. Some of like the lift stations and the western section rehab, that kind of thing. We need to get some of that information to some of the other consultants for their design process.
Right.
So
we're moving on that,
we're
Western
continuing.
20.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Any other member of council? The members of the public?
Angela Finette, 1016 North 31st Street, said that we have 2,455 total leaks. 872 of them are municipal leaks. What are the grade of the municipal leaks? 0 to 5, like the last report from the western section. What is the grade?
Exactly. It's the same, and they range from 1 to 5. And I don't have it broke down to be able to say what percentage is this or the other, but yes, we do have them graded, and that will be part of the final report as well.
Any large glaring anomalies where there's some big vat where we're taking on sewerage?
Unfortunately, and that's what obviously what we look for, and we found no smoking gun, so to speak, as far as, something that's obviously where all the flow is coming from, so that we did not find that.
The last question for you is, any manholes not found in this section where we're trying to identify, and about how many are there?
On this one, we did have a number of manholes that were not found, similar to the western section. And as we go through the hydraulic analysis, the ones that we feel like are necessary for that analysis, we're going back to find. But there were, as it was there, around 5%, 5 to 8%, I think.
Okay. regarding the last SPI report that was done sitting from February. How many citizens with private concerns from that report have been contacted? From February to now in December, how many people have been told that they've got a sewerage leak on their property that's leaching? Okay, how many repairs have been identified from the February report that have been addressed? Has anything been repaired from the February 2025 report? Anything been addressed or repaired?
I can't answer that. And I know, Mr. Mills, you're new. I don't know if you have any.
I don't, I'm looking if Danny, if you happen to have any information on that, I know we've. Yeah, Taylor.
I'll try back because I've only been here 2 weeks. So we'll see. There are a couple of projects that are in the works. The wording was just approved by the council. So we need to get a signed contract. No, we haven't done any internal, so there's so many.
Okay.
So wait, so we asked back many months ago for a list of some quick hits that we could go after.
Yes.
And they have done some work. I know it because we discussed it. So somebody from
We just need a number.
Works group, I know, Taylor, you're brand new to this. I totally understand. But they went after several things. I know.
I'm not aware of any.
Okay, all right.
Forget.
No,
So we'll
then
backtrack
Rob
and
lied
find
to us, or
out.
Rob lied to us then. Okay. Not uncommon.
Mayor, we'll figure out, we'll
We
dig
need to
deeper, see
check
if we
it.
have.
We're adamant about getting some stuff moving.
Yeah,
not waiting on
the low hanging fruit that we could go out and knock it out and be done. Yeah.
And so apparently nothing had been done. And I'm not blaming you guys that's been in charge for 2 weeks or anything. Okay. We know where it came from.
Last question, and this is a question, I guess, for SBI and the council. Has there been any research done on the city implementing smart sewer technology as part of any of this work where we're implanting actual valves or flow monitors that can consistently stay in these systems so that we can monitor what's happening and use our money to the best bang for our buck here for this? A lot of cities are getting money from this from the EPA, and I've done some extensive research on it. Be happy to share.
Sure. So we will have, for this project, temporary flow meters. But Mr. Mills and Taylor and I did talk about the potential of having more permanent meters placed, and those kind of decisions will be made obviously by the city after the study is completed and pending
Right.
those results.
And Mayor, we will get back if we can.
And it's a good practice to have the flow meter so you can see from month to month and rain to rain if something has changed on streets going in. So we've already corrected
See
Steve
anomalies.
to put. Well, he's not doing, Westfield's doing some lift stations and to put those in there. So we have an extra ability to see what those flows are.
Very good.
Any other member of the public?
Jolie Shipley, 8765 Holmes Road and 3519 Avenue L. My question is on the report provided. The comment was made that the focus was on the big lines, the 12 inches. And we saw a really cool proposed interactive map where you could click on something and see all the detail about it. My first question is going to be, do we have that interactive map for the west section that can be made public and put online, or is there a reason the citizens can't know that stuff?
It's not available yet. We're still working
On the
that
west portion?
The western portion also.
So
Okay.
that does, excuse me, Joe, does that map belong to y'all right now? Because I don't even think we have that interactive map.
System, but
Okay.
I think that's what we started with.
Right.
But we have done a lot of updating to it as for what we found.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead. No, you're good.
We're actually having a meeting tomorrow on the GIS mapping system.
Okay, good.
Because it is lapsed
Oh,
for
the
5 or 6 years. It needs to be brought up to date. So we're actually talking to another consultant about bringing that up to date tomorrow. Myself, Bruce. and,
So the
William.
software fees have lapsed. We haven't been paying.
Hopefully we can get that going so we can get all this out.
Get those updated.
It needs to coincide with this project, sir.
Yeah, sure.
And I think.
Sorry, Ms. Shipley.
No, that's okay. I think I understand what Taylor said. If we update this GIS that we let go defunct that we need, will that give us the opportunity to make a interactive map site?
I don't know. I think your computer has to have the software on it. You can't just. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, the other part that I think Ms. Finette brought up was the grant writing, and do we have a grant writer in place to assist with? It's kind of funny because she mentioned it to me. So I spent about 15 minutes one day and found a ton of grants that are available. I know she's done much more extensive research, but do we have anybody with the
He's
city?
going to answer your question.
Next week, next council meeting, we're going to bring forward a proposal for this council to consider a contract with a person that does nothing but writes grants and seeks them out and tells us about them and then applies for them and then would if awarded, would then monitor and manage that grant.
Great step forward.
Great idea.
We're going after a lot of the infrastructure grants that are available. There's a lot of cities that are gunning for this money as infrastructure has aged over the decades. So we're trying to see if we can maybe get a leg up by having a professional who can just file these grants and hopefully we can, start raking them in so we can put some of this money back into the streets.
Perfect. And then my last thing was, I know that one of my properties is not in the westward section. It's on the south side. Like that's the hood or something, I guess, where we are at. But down on the south side, I think we had 13 leaks in our yard. I've got 13 circles that were there. And which I think we knew because, the old mayor came out with me and looked at it and it's really bad.
Geysers of you know what.
Yep, it's bad. And so my question is, I know I've got 13 leaks on the city side. It's not, I think one's on our side, but the other 12 are on the city side. And nobody's done anything with that. If I were to call, say, somebody in his crew tonight and say, oh gosh, my toilet's backing up at this house. Do they have access to know that there were 13 smoking sections? I mean, we looked like a whole haunted house by ourselves on our street. Can Joey get to your list of the smoke leaks?
Not right now. Not.
Okay, so they need to be calling you if they're having a recurring problem, so you can give them the information and say, hey, here's that.
what we found. Right.
Calling.
They have helped us before we have called them, they have called up. So they have, when we have had problems, we have contacted each other. So we are working together on something.
And I know you're putting together the whole report, but the map of the leaks exists. Is there any way for you guys to get that map from them to at least give Joey and them and Taylor and all a resource to be able to look at that and know, oh, holy cow, there were a lot of smoke.
Can that be done at this stage?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, for their use only,
Yeah,
not public.
We disclaimered, I guess, a little bit right now, but we could certainly do it.
Right.
Because each one of the spots, the detail that pops up, you're not gonna have that on your
Wouldn't be
map.
able to, right.
That's a lot. There's a lot of data there.
Right.
And it's a living document too, right? So it's ever changing as this report goes on.
Right. Okay.
Sense.
All right. Councilmember Jones, this is your agenda item. You have anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Any other member of council?
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, thank you.
great.
Any other
Thanks,
member
Steve.
of the public, although there's been a lot of public discussion so far? All right, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks, Steve.
anytime, I'll be glad to give another update.
See if I can get you back in a couple months. There you go. Yeah.
We had them set for a recurring visit, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get him back.
5F, discussion. That was just, there was no action on that one. That was just a receiving update. No, 5F, discussion and possible action approving amendment to ordinance 107, installation of stop signs at intersections. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Carroll still out there? Chief Carroll, I'll let you speak to this.
Stop signs.
Stop sign, talk about your ordinance.
I explained to somebody the other day, we're in charge of police stops. We don't run over any reindeer in town. And we definitely don't want grandma to be run over. We put, the thing is, what we've been doing is and I'm saying it consistently, we put up the radar monitor. It's not the speed. It's the number of cars that are trying to avoid 27th Street and Twin City Highway that are cutting down 21st, 25th, all these roads. The only way we're gonna do is slow them down is if they have to stop. I mean, for safety reasons, because these roads were not made to handle the number of cars going down them. But again, we have people that, for instance, on 25th Street, they're trying to easily miss the 27th Street, but we have so many people going and coming from the school. But they're trying to cut back around the back way. We're all guilty of taking the path of least resistance. But that's what we're seeing as we're doing. It's not speed that I'm seeing on the radar recorder. It's the number of vehicles.
That one intersection we talked about is the one oddity in that whole neighborhood that doesn't have the crossroad.
Yeah.
Goes down Avenue D,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is it's,
25th, so
Mhm.
it's the only one that shoots straight.
That's the one they're all going
And
to.
that's the one everybody finds, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, because we closed the other ones up on 21, 23rd.
yeah, now we put the one on 25th, Street as well at,
6 times the amount of traffic on that one street.
yeah, that's it.
BD and.
I bet they have almost as much traffic as 27th does during certain times of the day.
I wonder.
Yeah.
The red light right to the school.
Is that all y'all need to know?
Good enough.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks
Don't
for
go
checking
far.
into it, Chief.
Don't go far.
Do we have anything on this?
Pretty straightforward to
Just-
me.
Just 1 second. Let me check the notes here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, I was just checking my notes. Sorry about that, y'all.
No problem.
Okay, do I have a motion and second on this?
So moved.
Second.
I heard, of course, Sonia is the motion. I think I heard Jones second,
Yep.
before Ortiz. Okay, so we have a motion and second to approve, item 5F. Any further discussion, council? Any questions from the audience? Seeing none, hearing none. All in favor of, 5F, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 5G, discussion and possible action approving resolution 2025-21, authorizing the Nederland Police Department to participate in a mutual aid agreement with the city of Groves and city of Port Neches. Last I heard, Mr. Mills, Chief Carroll wanted us to pull this item.
I don't know if we need to pull it or not, but Chief Carroll,
This is the one on mutual aid. We
Right.
need to pull it.
City attorney from Groves, it has not gotten the approval from the city attorney of Port Neches, so I'm asking that to be tabled at this time. And hopefully they'll get forward with this and get this done before.
Do you want it on next week's agenda or the one in January the 12th?
I haven't heard back from Port Neches. I'm guessing that probably January the 12th will be
January
the most
12th.
likely. Hopefully that by the end of the year, they'll get that taken care of.
Okay.
Make it a priority.
Let's just put this on the January 12th agenda,
Okay.
Mr. Mills.
all right.
No need for a motion, second and all that stuff. I'll just do it without objection, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So ordered. Okay.
And get all the information before we can make a decision.
Okay. Just wanted to take care of it quickly under Roberts. Okay, 5H, discussion and possible action approving ordinance number 2025-24, authorizing the settlement of Texas Gas Service Company. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. Attached is a proposed ordinance, which you have in your packet, 2025-24, authorizing the settlement of Texas Gas Service Company, Division of One Gas, Inc. statement of intent to increase gas rates filed on June 30th, 2025. Texas Gas filed a statement of intent to increase the gas rates within the Central Texas Gulf service area, West Northern service area, and Rio Grande Valley service area, increase its revenue requirement by 41.1 million per year, and to consolidate its 3 service areas into one statewide service area. TGS has since agreed to settle the rate request, an overall rate increase level of 15 million per year for the Central Gulf, West North, and Rio Grande Valley service areas. The city's utility consultant, Dan Lawton, recommends approval of this partial settlement. Recommend approval of that ordinance 2025-24.
I'll now take a motion in a second.
I'll move the item.
Second. Motion by Jones, seconded by Ortiz to approve. Any discussion, council?
Yeah, this is by my account, of 63.5% reduction of what they proposed. The 41.1 million down to 15. So hopefully the settlement will go through because it's a big difference.
Any other council member?
So just Mills, so this is normal, right? I mean, they go through that, they propose it high and we settle for. a low.
And then
It goes
negotiate.
on Every so often. they
Rate,
go
every
through.
rate
1
increase.
million to 15 is a pretty
No,
big.
no, it's a
yeah.
big number,
Yeah.
but it happens every time.
Yeah.
They
Shoot high and
typically,
settle low.
yeah, they shoot high and then the Lawton Law Firm represents a lot of municipalities.
See how much
They go
pushback.
negotiate, yeah, and then it usually comes in significantly less.
And
It's
you
probably
can-
right about the number they thought they were gonna get.
I was reading into it. They said they require this amount of money. They must have this 41 million. Well, it doesn't seem like
They're
that's
all
going to be
about
the
making
case.
money.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
All about
Right.
making money.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you don't get it.
That's exactly right. Any, council, we done with our discussion?
Yes.
Any member of the public? Seeing no one, hearing no one. All in favor of, the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 5I, discussion and possible action to approve purchase of hydrostop insertion valves for Public Works Department. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. This is, Joey Mitchell loves these. These are, he insertion valves, and what they are is a valve in line that I wish I could talk about sewer water, but this is drinking water. And when it breaks, and if these break, and what do we have, 5 of these valves that we know are in our worst condition, that if they break and we can't isolate the water in that flow, and they're, I believe, 6 and 8 inch lines, which would be a lot of water if it breaks. So we've assessed the 5 worst ones. I'm looking at you, Joy. Is that correct? And with that, it's the total for those is 47,500. Any questions? Or any comments from you guys?
47,500, you said?
Yes, for the total of, for the,
So you're gonna do it hot.
So is it like a hot tap?
Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty
so you call it an insertion
Oh,
valve,
so-
but it's different. I got it.
yeah.
So essentially, we're installing block valves in high flow, high size areas. We have a leak, we can isolate that before we bleed the whole pressure down for the whole city.
But then cut more, have to cut more off to get plugged back. from
Right.
Actually work. Normally, when you get into water lines and stuff, most maintenance crews want as many valves as they can get on the design part, so you start looking, put those valves in at least every block. So you can isolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's going to make our water system a little bit more reliable.
Right.
Well, it's one of those things that you can't close.
Controllable.
But we're not losing as much water in the leak, so.
Yeah, and eliminate boil water notices and that sort of thing. if you Shut down.
Do some, yeah.
Right, right.
Okay. And then, go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I have on it, looking at the thing right here, so we'll install each valve at a total cost of 47,500. I don't want somebody to misconstrue. That's 47,500 per
No,
valve. It's the whole
I'm
thing. So
sorry,
I like to make it read a total overall cost of 47,500. So there's
It is
no
for 5 valves, 47,500, all installed. Our mistake for wording. Thank you.
So, I will accept, we'll accept the motion as stated.
Yeah.
So are you
Make a
saying
motion, yes.
you're moving that
Yes.
we do this total cost for the
Yeah.
valves and the installation of 47,500? And that's your second. Okay. Motion by, Sonia, second by Duplant, as the motion I stated. Any further discussion, council?
Yeah, I'm glad to see that the city is going to be doing the prep work. That's going to obviously save us a little money. Who's going to be doing the finishing work? Is it going to be JZ Southern Boys Services, or is that going to be our city who's going to do the finishing work for that after the valves are installed?
We will prepare it. Get it ready for them. They come set them, put them in, then we will come backfill and do that.
We're obviously going to save a little bit of money than contracting that out. So
The timing thing.
It's an efficiency thing.
They'll be ready to go with the valve and everything we did, so they can drop the valve.
We come back.
excellent work, gentlemen. Thank y'all.
Are there any other valves that are needed?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so if we can maybe put that in the budget for next year, let's make some notes.
And to identify and prioritize which ones for you.
Let's
Get a whole package put together of everything that.
You could have
you
a
know,
5-year plan
Very-
of these are the ones we'd like. to
That's
put
what
over
we're
the
gonna
next
kind of
5
start
years.
working for, because
These were the immediate ones, but to answer your question, yes. As
Thank
we
you.
talked earlier, the aging infrastructure, and these are probably the top 5 that would.
Okay.
we have started comparing a list already. It's already 8 or 10 valves already.
Okay, sit down, Joe. That's all you get this time. Just-
Thank you.
And I just want to make for the purposes of the motion that this is going to be $47,550 to Jay-Z Southern Boys Services LLC of Quitman, Texas. Okay. Any further discussion by the council? Any questions from the audience? Come on. Name and address.
Todd Perk. Are they gonna check the thickness of this pipe before they do this hot tap? Or do we have a drawing of what they're doing?
Taylor, Joey, did y'all hear the question?
Y'all gonna check the thickness before y'all start doing hot taps, or y'all hot tapping, or y'all just swap the valve?
No, we're going, the valves that are bad, we will take out, take it to valve.
Still gotta isolate it.
Yeah, we can isolate, these valves will be able to isolate and we can take the.
So somebody said something about a hot tap, that's what I said.
It's.
Well, it's a hot, I mean, a hot tap, you weld on the pipe, that's what I said.
PVC pipe. It's asbestos, PVC.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah.
This is all PVC, this ain't no steel.
Probably
This ain't steel.
It's probably.
Transite pipe.
Yeah.
Transite pipe.
So it's not a hot tap, they're just swapping the
Yeah.
valve.
Swap the valve.
Yeah.
They actually go in and.
Put it in
You
valves.
probably looked at
And they
that.
put the valve in and you can use future.
Okay, I was wondering, I didn't know it was big, I thought. it was big.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Okay, we've got the motion second. We're going to vote on it now. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 5J, discussion and possible action to approve purchase of excavator, trailer, and 2024 Caterpillar double wheel roller for the Public Works Department. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to read this one so I don't confuse you like I did on this last one. I didn't leave something out, but this was a new excavator, breaker / jackhammer and trailer that you all approved in the 2025 budget for $66,000. However, with inflation and other reasons, the recent pricing came in higher at $82,000 for those components. Staff, we've had several discussions. We believe that the funds will be available. We had some savings on some other capital items. We believe that we'll make up that difference. And the staff will be able to offset that by the end of the year. So this purchase is needed for repairing, obviously, the equipment for water and sewer breaks throughout the city, as well as completing excavations more efficiently. Replace an older unit that's approximately 15 years old and has definitely met its life expectancy. Also, a 2024 Caterpillar double wheel roller was also approved in the budget for the $50,000. This equipment will be used for asphalt utility cuts and small asphalt road-based failures and provide for improved results when repairing roadways. Taylor Shelton and I recommend approval on this one. I believe we identified some savings in, not to speak too far out on it, but on there's approval for a dump truck that was about 200,000 approved, and we believe we'll come in lower on that one.
Enough to cover the
And,
distance.
yes, sir.
Still need to be replaced. I'm not sure why. We'll get on those and get the buy board bids for dump trucks for the sewer plant and then pickup truck for that. Those are coming out.
Yeah, different funds, but we should have enough savings in there
Should
to
have
be,
We have the equipment replacement funds.
we've been admonished by finance to come in under budget.
So I just want to make sure we're talking about the same things. The excavator is now 82,000, correct? Mr.
Right, yes, sir.
And trailer is now at 82,000. And the Caterpillar double wheel roller, it was in the budget for 50,000. Is that still the price?
That was still, we're still in line on the 50,000.
So we're looking at, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Council, Jim Lancaster, Streets and Drainage Public Works. Our bid came in at $43,698.78. $150,000.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, we still need a motion in a second.
Yeah, let's go and get a motion in a second.
I'll move, item J.
Second.
Okay. And what amount of money? Or you still?
Now requested.
As
Not
written.
requested, as
Yeah,
written.
as the
Because
item.
in the agenda item, it doesn't have an amount. That's why I'm saying for an amount.
82 and 50. I see 82,000.
Uh-huh,
I see 2024 Caterpillar.
50,000. So we're talking a total of $132,000.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So is that your motion? 132?
Yeah, my motion for the item is
Right,
written.
because as written, you're looking at the city manager's notes on the agenda item. There is no amount. So that's
Oh,
what
I
I'm saying.
understand,
You're looking
understand.
at our
Yeah,
data.
yeah. For that amount, that is correct. I was looking at the city manager notes.
$132,000.
Yeah.
We have a motion from Jones, Councilmember Jones, to approve this in the total amount of $132,000. Do we have a second?
You did, Ortiz.
Ortiz seconded. Thank you. I was trying to clarify the motion there. Okay. Now we have a motion and a second. Did you have a further question?
Yeah, I did. So I see we're replacing an excavator. This Caterpillar double wheel roller. Do we currently have one that we're going to be replacing as well, or is this like a new piece of equipment that's going to help us in the future?
I got the same question because it's a little used machine, so I'm wondering why we're buying one.
Yeah, I didn't know. Do
Not
we
used
already?
enough, so yeah.
I see the excavator, we're replacing one, but it didn't really say on the Caterpillar if this is new equipment or.
Yeah, so this is a new piece of equipment to use with a large utility cuts that we have, a road repair that we can take care of, the small needs. What we have now is a plate compactor.
That's right.
This roller will do a lot better product than we're doing a plate compactor that walk behind. It's a small, you might see the contractor worked on Needle Avenue in 27th Street not too long ago. It's the same size,
Okay.
brand new.
Yeah, it was
Right.
approved in the budget.
You had a question though on how
Just
often
a
it's
question.
used?
Yeah, I mean, utilization, I think is one where, I missed the budget meeting this year, was out of town, so it was one of those where I'd rather, hate to say it, I'd rather see us buy a slope mower and take care of ditches through the town and do that area. So that's something we need to look at for next year.
Yes, sir. That is something we have talked about, Ms. Sonia.
I mean, we're short going down Canal on different streets and some
Yes, sir. I
steep ones.
agree.
It's we can do better in that area. Yeah,
Sir?
we can do better in that area with the right equipment.
I agree.
Thank you.
Sir.
So we're going from a plate compactor to a double wheel roller essentially.
Yes, we're still going to use the plate compactor for small.
Small jobs.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking like driveway jobs, but this one handles the big road stuff. It's a small. Yeah.
That's that one that's
48 inches or whatever.
It's the one that'll fit on a tandem axle trailer kind of deal.
Right.
Yeah, mini
Working on that.
48 inch. Yeah. Okay. Got you.
Okay. Any other member of council? Member of the public?
Shirley Shipley, 8765 Holmes Road and 3519 Avenue L. I know that we bought a lot of equipment last year, specifically the Dr. Seuss truck to suck out the ditches that seems to sit still more than anything else over there. And so my question was the roller, how often would we use the roller? Is that, and I'm kind of in line with Mr. Sonier. I'd like to make sure we're spending our money where we're getting the best bang for the buck. We've done without a roll. I really thought we had a roller and I thought there was a conversation about it right before the snorkel truck got bought. The Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
We haven't had one. It's more of a tamping machine, the kind of packer, which is kind of poor. It's like, yeah,
doesn't
I made for
pack
big
as
jobs. I
good.
mean, now to ask a question, how often it's used? Tell me how many underground water breaks we have and new taps and all that. And that's kind of what's going to be the driver of it.
Sure.
What type of things we have to dig into. If we have 2 leaks a year, okay, did we buy it and make the right choice? If we have 20, we got to come back and do the right way. So that's an area. And
And
we got some
usually-
roads in Neyland that they're working on. It's good to have the equipment for it. So
So I know that the last roads done, like Hill Terrace, Hilldale, whatever that was all done by outside contractors, not city employees. And I was always taught that the best indicator of future behavior would be to assess past behavior. So how many times would we have used this roller this year if we'd have had it? Twice or 50? I don't, that's kind of my question, because it seems like the ditches are a much more serious issue than that. If we've been doing it with a packer, maybe we could reassess that towards the ditches. Because we're,
Probably the board says how many needs to be had.
but I guess that was my question.
Hold on, let me get us in.
Yeah.
Go ahead, good.
So how many leaks did y'all fix last month?
Oh,
You just
last month, give or take 25, 30 leaks.
And then probably half of those are in the streets.
Yeah, and
Off the top of my
driveways
head.
and streets. Yes.
So we could have used that double wheel roller For,
Renting some as well, John. It's time for us to purchase one.
Renting and outsourcing, to your point.
Outsourcing, but renting one for the street program to run with. Yeah.
so we normally rent one for the street program every year, right?
That's big.
Yeah, that's the great big ones.
Yes,
So purchasing this wouldn't replace the need to do that when we redo a whole road.
correct.
So this doesn't really have any bearing on that. And so I guess my question then, and Joey, you might be the one, was you think about 15 times last month, we could have used the roller on streets?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. We have rented one for a while. And we sent it back and, fix the purpose ones.
So, in your opinion, buying one would be much more cost effective than renting one?
Also,
get a quicker response too, so
quicker.
from getting the road fixed.
Think of, the Tampa, like about one.
You get a lot better product, especially got a bigger area to cover, using a small roller like this.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we got a motion. Any other citizens? Excuse. All right. And I'm better than I was this weekend. Okay, just doesn't sound like it. We have a motion to second on the floor, so go to the vote. All in favor of approving this for the total amount of $132,000, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 5K. Let me get back to my that. Discussion and possible action approving an amendment to the contract with Griffith, Mosley and Johnson and Associates for grant administration services for Hurricane Harvey grant funds. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. So this contract has been amended to include some additional funding for the completed grant administration duties provided for the street improvement project through the Hurricane Harvey grant. The initial contract amount was $248,528.66, and then that has been amended to $254,528.66 for an increase of $6,000. This includes additional funding to cover environmental reevaluation that was required by the General Land Office. The reevaluation was done after GLO's review of the street improvement projects, why it wasn't in that number. Also attached is a final invoice from GMJ reflecting the amended total contract amount, as well as the final draw for the initial contract in the amount of $7,627.66 for the grant closeout. So the final draw plus the 6,000 environmental reevaluation results in the final number of 13,627.66, and I recommend approval of this final payment. You can answer questions, and if I can't,
okay,
I have people that can.
Let's go on and get a motion and second on this, and then we'll
So
go.
moved.
Second.
Motion by Sonia, second by Ortiz. Okay, now, council members have any questions?
So this, the 6,000 was a requirement? That wasn't an option?
The 6,000 covered the. cost of-
Name, just for the record.
Vivian Baloo.
Thank you,
I'm the
Viv.
grant administrator with GMJ. The 6,000 was required by GLO to do the street improvement projects. We had to do an environmental reevaluation because this is an additional project that was not in the initial grant that you applied to.
Okay, thank you.
And just for the motion, I just want to make sure the amount of 13,627.66 was in the motion. Okay. All right. Any other council member have any discussion? Okay, any member of the public? Hearing none, seeing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 6, executive session. No public discussion on these items. The city council will announce that it will go into executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss matters as specifically listed on the agenda or as authorized by law. Consultation with attorney pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding pending or contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, and or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the city council under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code and personnel matters. pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee regarding the city manager. We will be back when we are done, ladies and gentlemen.
I have one question.
Yes,
Mayor.
sir.
So for Griffith, Johnson and Mosley. Hey, so one question, we're talking here. And we've done a lot of grants with the GJM through the years for our parks and everything else. Have y'all got involved with the sewer grants? Because we were talking about that a couple items earlier and have that relationship for sewer infrastructure type improvements. Okay, had to ask a question while you're here, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Okay, it is 7:05. We're going into executive session. We'll be back when we're done.
8:30.
You ready, Joni? It is 7:56 PM. I'm reconvening into regular session and we're going to discuss and take action, if any, on items discussed in executive session. That was item 7. Item 8, discussion and possible action regarding the selection of an executive search firm to assist with the recruitment of a city manager. I understand you, Councilmember Sonier, have a motion.
Yeah, Mayor, I do make a motion to entertain to seek employing Clear Career Professionals. It's our search firm pending legal review.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Sonier, second by Jones to hire Clear Career Professionals pending legal review. And Mr. Levens, you said you could have that done in time for next council meeting. So it'll be on next week's agenda, the December 15th. Remember, there's a meeting next Monday and not the 22nd. Okay. Any further discussion, council? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, seeing none. All in favor of the motion for item number 8, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. It is 7:57, and I declare this meeting adjourned.